welcome to another Team Clueless Battle Report. It's myself and Mark today. We are having a small 1500 point battle. We're playing Cleanse and Control, just a basic maelstrom mission. It's the one where you have 3 cards each turn. It's our favourite of the maelstroms because you don't get a massive swing in results of the maelstrom that you can get with the ones that have 6 cards. Mark is bringing Add Mech, but you're not playing the War Convocation, Mark. How is this possible?
Well, apparently you have to start paying points for like weapons and guns.
I know you've been quite upset by that, haven't you? The fact that you had to kind of like buy stuff.
I thought back then. I thought I'd just cheat.
Yeah, seems best.
I feel like that's the fair rules to play. So
yeah, well, that's what they do normally, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
none of that cost me any points today.
Yeah, sweet. I am playing Daemons today. I am attempting to use one of their new Jukerion style formations from the Curse of the Wolfen book. I find them a bit annoying just due to the fact there are so many minimum units for them. I've got about 6,000-7,000 points of Daemons and I don't have the models for any of those units. So I'm having to proxy a few Nurglings today, which I'll show you when I get to my army. One other quick thing of note, I'll point my finger onto the screen somewhere, if I can get it, up here. I'll stick a link up there to the end of the campaign I've been playing with my mate Jason, John and Ash. You may have seen a couple of the videos on this channel, but Jason's got the final battle report on his channel, so follow that link and go and find out what happened. Did we free the Demon Lord Angrath, or were the forces of the Imperium successful? Okay, let's get on to our armies today. Okay, we have 1500 points of chaos today. I am using the Nurgle Taliban formation, which fits into the Demonic Incursion Jukerion style. I wish somebody had come up with a much better name for those style detachments. One of the combi detachments. So for that detachment, if you haven't read the book, which many of you may not have done, you get massive bonuses for taking it, just like all of the large combi detachments. For this one, you get to add +or -1 to the Warpstorm table result. You get to re-roll all your failed demonic instability tests, and you also get to, when you move on to an objective, when you move off of the objective with one of your units from that formation, you get to still count as controlling the objective until the opponent comes and takes it back from you. So really powerful. You can move across the board, take the objectives, and then move on. It's called Demonic Corruption, I think, which is quite flavourful. Demons wouldn't sit around guarding a thing. They just move on to it, go blah, and then walk off and assume that it's been corrupted forever. So powerful bonuses. But you have to take massive units. They're all sized for the numbers of their gods. So Khorne 8 is each 9, Nurgle 7, and Slaanesh 6. So Slaanesh is maybe the cheapest, but I've taken the Nurgle one. So you have to take 7 units of either Nurglings or Plague Bearers. So I have 1 unit of Plague Bearers there, 10 strong. You also get to take 1 Herald in the unit. So I've got 1 Herald there of Nurgle. He's got Fecundity as his gift thing, which gives him and his unit feel no pain, and also from the formation he's part of, it spreads that feel no pain to other Nurgle units nearby, or other Nurgle units from the formation nearby, so the Nurglings in this case. And he's a level 1 sorcerer, and I think he's got summoning and some Nurgly power. Then I have 6 units of Nurglings, so 1 of actual new Nurglings, 2 3-man units of really old Nurglings. Then we move on to the proxies, which I apologise for, but at least they're painted. So the 2 units of 3 Slaanesh steeds, which, let's face it, nobody would ever take in an army nowadays. They are each proxying as a stand of Nurglings, and the 3 Chaos Spawn at the back there, they're also pretending to be Nurglings. Obviously, Fate Weaver, who I'll get to in a minute, has cast some spell to make them look different for this battle. Now, these models at the back, you may be forgiven for not recognising at all. I forgot I'd even owned any, but they are 5 Chaos Furies. The reason to take those is, for some reason, there's an auxiliary formation, which you have to take 1 of in the big combi formation. That means you can take 5 of these. There's none for kind of like Flesh Hounds or any cool units like that, but there is for Chaos Furies. They're 35 points, they're attacks, I've paid it, they're there. They might do something, who knows. Then we move over. I've taken a CAD to get some units that are actually useful. So I've got Fate Weaver here. He is the warlord of the army. He's obviously bonkers broken. Then we have troop units. I've got a unit of 19 Demonettes. They're going to be chipping across the board. I have a unit of 11 Pink Horrors. I have a level 1 Tzeentch Herald, and he's got the Grimoire of True Names. Duh. Then I have 6 Screamers of Tzeentch. Then we move on, we have 2 units of 5 Flesh Hounds. I've gone for a bit MSU approach with this army, and that is what we've got. So a whole load of little units to charge across the board, plus obviously Fate Weaver. Let's see what Mark can bring to oppose the demonic powers.
Right then, guys, this is the kind of the Add Mech side of the things. Right in the middle is my Warlord. It's a Tech Priest Dominus. He's got the kind of the box standard equipment. There's not very many upgrades in this list. They've got paid
Why
points
not,
for
Mark?
it. Got paid bloody points. Don't like it.
Oh, shocking.
He's in a Command Knives attachment. So for the 2 troops, I've got 2 lots of destroyers. One has all grav and flamers. One has plasma and phosphorus serpentas. I've gone for a Inquisitorial detachment, which has courtiers, 2 min squads of acolytes, 2 chimeras. And then I've taken the one of everything Codex Caturi formation. So I've got infiltrators, rust stalkers, rangers, and vanguard. And then down here I've got the Dune Crawler with the Icarus array. And I've gone for a little bit of proxies down here. This is 3 of the Sidonian Dragoons. They've all got taser goads.
Okay, so you join us here at the start of the game. Mark has got first turn, so he is deployed over here. He's got mainly his big tracked robot-y things over here, servitors. Courtiers is attached to one of them. Moving up, his Dune Crawler has scaled the side of the building, so he's commanding the battlefield from up there. Then we have big stompy things in the middle here. And down the other end, he's got his Skitarii of both types. Oh no, yeah, both types of Dune Walkery, whatever they're called. I'm really bad with AdMech names. You may have noticed. And these ones are standard Skitarii dudes. I have kind of like hidden a little bit. Fate Weaver is hiding behind this Fate Weaver sized box combination. Big unit of Demonettes there. My Nurglings and my Fleshhounds have basically just moved forwards with their scouting, infiltrating moves. There's not a whole lot of other options for them, to be honest. There's no point keeping them at the back of the board. It just clusters my area for Mark's area effect weapons. I have my pink horrors in here, screamers down here protecting the herald behind the dilapidated building. Again, remember, these guys are actually Nurglings. They've just scouted forwards. These guys are deployed there in cover, and my bigger unit of Nurgle stuff is hidden inside that building. Okay, so Mark has courtiers, so he can force me to re-roll my seize the initiative. But if you've watched any of our videos, you know that there's a near 90% chance that we do seize the initiative each time. So I have my nice Nurgle blessed dice here. I need to roll a 6, and then Mark will make me re-roll it, and then I need to roll a 6 again. So here we go. It's a 4.
Bum, bum, bum.
Damn it, Courtiers' presence has ruined it. Okay, Mark has first turn while I go and stick the washing out.
Right, end of the AdMech, turn 1. Not too much exciting because obviously he's got a lot of stuff in cover and lots of Nurglings to pick off really. So down here there was a base of Nurglings. Lots of my units shot in relatively ineffectually except for the leader who's Volkite Bastard because it's strength 6. It's just really, really powerful at killing Nurglings, so he kind of pretty much removed the whole BU unit himself. The plasma guys pinged a few guys off of various models, so we got this squad down to only 1 more base. I think I killed a couple out of each, 1 out of this unit and I think 2 or 3 out of this unit. At least knocked him off a warp charge. This guy didn't do anything. I don't think these guys did anything either. These guys were able to get the charge in on the corn dogs, and they managed to wipe out the corn dogs because of its to deafen them. These guys fired into the corn dogs and killed 1. These guys ran. These guys all fired and managed to kill 1 Nurgling. And that is the end of my turn. However, I managed to... The cards I drew no prisoners, which means kill a unit, so I got that point. I managed to cast Psychic Power. Coaches currently has precognition on him, which got me Harness the Warp. And then I activated the particular canticles that needed to get me a point, so I managed to score all 3 points in my turn.
Okay, this is the end of Demon Turn 1. The objectives I had to do this turn were behind enemy lines, so get somebody in Mark's deployment zone. I didn't manage that. Kill something in assault and secure objective 6. So working towards those ends, secure objective 6, I have moved up a ton of demonettes around objective 6, so I've taken that. Fate Weaver has taken to the skies. I didn't roll very high on the warp charges this turn. So Fate Weaver's in a little bit of trouble because he hasn't done anything to the Skyfire unit. I decided that taking out Courtiers' unit was probably a better use of his shooting this turn. So he fired over there with a beam power, killed Courtiers and 2 of the robots with him, so that was quite nice. He then missed with Poxy Psychic Shriek, which was designed to kill the remaining ones. He had previously enfeebled them, which was what allowed me to instant death them nicely. Other than that, I cast a beam power from my pink horrors at the Chimera, but failed to do it. So Psychic Phase wasn't brilliant. I got loads of manipulation for the Walkstorm table, but I just rolled a 10 and kept it, which is +1 invulnerable save to all my units. This gives the Screamers the dreaded 2-up rerollable save. We generally play the ITC ruling that when you reroll save, you can only reroll to a 4-up, but that still makes them pretty unkillable. So they charged in and used their warp jaws to rip apart Mark III walkers, which are quite a threat to my army because there's so much in my army that can't hurt them whatsoever. So my screamers were, that's why I deployed them there. They're one unit that can actually deal with the vehicles, and then they've spread out afterwards. Over here, my plague bearers assaulted in, managed to get into combat. We managed to get in there. I thought I had the slight edge in the combat, but Mark managed to do me 2 wounds, I managed to do him 2 wounds, so we're reasonably evened out there. We shall see what happens in future turns. Mark's better at attacking than I am, and he hasn't lost any models, so I fear for my Nurgle dudes there. I suspect the instability may come back and bite me in the ass. What else did we do? Very little, as we don't have really any shooting in the army. We've just moved around a bit. Because I scouted and infiltrated everything, there's not really a whole lot they can do because they don't have any range attacks, so you just mill around and wait for a couple of powerful units to do stuff. Let's see how Mark gets on his next turn.
Right, end of my turn 2. So these guys gone to ground, and then these guys put in some firepower. Basically shot into Daemons. I did do pretty good. I killed most of the squad now. He's only got 5 left. However, I was attempted to get this objective marker 6, but I mobilised myself on terrain, which is bad. This guy shot to Fate Weaver, did manage to deal a wound. I forgot he doesn't have that leadership test anymore, which kind of made me sad because I want him to run away. Didn't try and do anything to these guys. He got 2 up rerollables. Ignored the Nurglings. Down here, I put the infiltrators and the guys that give you -1 toughness into this band here. So just a massive combination of all the broken rules of getting minuses to pretty much just about every stat going meant I was able to wipe out the unit with. He just had the war leader left and he found his demonic instability with about 15 different rerolls. And then I've managed to roll good on my Xor's extra pushed over here. So overall, a pretty good turn, except for the fact I didn't score a single one of my cards. So that means he's got a good chance to build up some extra points on me. So that is all of my turn.
Demon turn 2. So what happened this turn? Objective wise, I got control objective 6, which I had done. Oh, no, sorry, control objective 2, because I'm not actually controlling objective 6. Control objective 2 and control 3 objectives with my demonic corruption, because my plague bearers had started on the objective which is hiding down there. I still control that one. I control the one on the hill and I control that one, so I've got a D3 from that. Unfortunately I got a 1 from that, so I scored 2 VPs this turn. The other one is Slay the Warlord, which I kind of attempted but didn't do very well. Fate Weaver flew over and landed. He then did a variety of attacks out of there. He blew up the Chimera to get the squad out, and then he kind of flubbed the rest of his rolls. Even though I was rolling reasonably well, he enfeebled those, which we completely forgot in the close combat. Oh well. And he attempted to Psychic Shriek these. I rolled a 5 on my 3d6 for leadership, so I didn't do anything. And he rolled the Nova Power, which hits everything within 9 inches. Didn't really do a whole lot of damage. But I blew up the Chimera, which was my main thought for the turn. That's a dead one of those. In the close combat then ensued, my dogs and my demonettes charged in, did very little to these, killed 1 I think, and did 1 more wound, so not particularly good, but I don't actually mind being locked in combat there. I deep struck in my Furies in the middle of the table. Over here, I think it's just stupidity on my behalf, I assaulted Mark's units again. This unit here is just far better than anything I've got in assault. I charged in with my full Screamer Star, they just butchered them. 7 wounds, and then instability took out another 3 wounds from the unit, so can't really do a lot there. Nurglings assaulted in here, and I managed to roll a double 1 for their instability test. So they got their wounds back, so it's kind of like a drawn combat there. I'm 1 up because I managed to kill one of his models. But these guys are going to come in and murder the Nurglings, I suspect. So going really badly over here, but okay over there. And the fact that Mark scored no points last turn is pretty key for me. Okay, let's see what Mark can do this turn.
Right, end of my turn 3. Reasonably pretty good turn, quite happy with it. Down here, I've chosen the Canticles that gives me the strip 4 hits. So that was able to kill a couple of guys, and then Cody rolled really badly, so he didn't kill anything down here. Charged into Fate Weaver, shot into Fate Weaver, didn't do anything, but I've tied him up in combat, so at least he's not flying around. Over down here, managed to wipe out all stuff I was in close combat with, and I've killed one of the Nurglings. And then I finally got one additional point this turn, so I had secure objective 3.
End of Demon turn 3. So this turn I completely abandoned this side of the board. The combination of Mark's units over there, they work really well together, so I'm just bugging out. Not that I had a lot to bug out with. I have 2 units of 2 Nurgling bases. which are moving that way. These guys are moving that way. I've got one unit of Nurgling bases still in reserve. They failed to come in. What happened this turn? Psychic phase wasn't brilliant. I cast in Feeble and then attempted to summon some stuff and failed. But it's the first time my psychic powers have gone awry, so not too much of a worry. I moved my Furies over. Mark must be scared of them. The Warpstorm table gifted me with an extra 13 Demonettes, all the ones that failed me earlier in the game. So they're back in, and I think that's a big swing to this area of the board because I was looking in trouble over here. I won the combat here, only losing... one wound off Fleshhound to Mark's special electric shocks from his units. Fate Weaver's combat went atrociously though. He managed to put one wound on me, which I failed the save and I didn't use the reroll. Instead I used the reroll to make sure I got a hit through, thinking if I managed to smash one of these two models I then win the combat by quite a lot. Or, no, not quite a lot, but I actually win the combat, thus ignoring the, instability roll, which I felt was my... bad point there. So I used my reroll to hit, then rolled a 1 to wound, which was atrocious, and then rolled a 10 on the instability, taking an extra 2 wounds. So Fate Weaver has 1 wound left, so that's a very bad turn for me there. Not good at all. But I did score a couple of points, which is quite important. I got the nice demon card, which is, do you manifest the psychic power? Is it with Tzeentch? If so, have 2 free points. So I got that, shockingly. And then I also got control objective 4 in the centre there, on my lovely Nurgling base, which is climbing up the side there. So overall, 3 points from the turn. Not doing well game state, but doing well victory points. I think the scores on the doors are 8-5 to myself, because Mark hasn't been drawing brilliantly. Let's see what he can do.
Right, this is my 2-second turn. Had a foe's combat. I failed to hit. Fate Weaver smashed me, killed one dude. My Wardig is running. Bad. Got to close combat down here. I killed one. Yay! He rolled at a board instability. It came back. Boo! Killed 2 base of Nurglings. And then kind of moved down here. This one has taken objective of him. That got me 1 point. And also had secure objective 3. So I'm now got a couple more points.
8-7.
8-7, yep. So
you're a turn ahead of me, so
yes.
We'll see what I get. Demon turn 4. So what happened here? Fate Weaver, after his very narrow escape, decided to stay on the ground because he didn't want to approach these guys, because with 1 wound left, anything can kill him. So he stayed there and decided to use psychic powers to kill Mark's Warlord and to hurt other stuff. He failed to summon stuff, and he failed to kill the Warlord, but he did kill 2 Ranger dudes who are up there. The Warlord, I was annoyed I didn't kill him. I've got the Warlord card, so I really needed to kill him. But none of my other units could get there because Mark had come down and locked up my hounds. So to stop the Warlord then making his leadership and getting back in the game properly, I charged in the Nurglings. I've enfeebled the Warlord. So the Nurglings aren't that bad versus him. I was hoping to beat him by 1 wound maybe in combat, just so I can then get him to fail leadership and get off the board again. But unfortunately not. Mark made his saves in combat, so we're a bit locked there. Other stuff around here, the Demonettes have charged in, put a wound on that walker that's locking up my hounds. If I can possibly kill that in Mark's turn, then the Demonettes should be able to happily kill Mark's Warlord. As it's turn 4, the game might be over next turn. These guys are still sitting pretty over here. Mark is chipping up the table, and I'm not doing much to stop him. The Dark Prince Thirst this turn on the Warpstorm table and took out half of this squad, which is quite nice because I deep struck my Nurglings into the train nearby. So that's pretty useful. I'm contesting that objective in case it comes up for Mark. Other than that, not a whole lot. We are speeding through the turns now.
Right, end of Admech turn 5. It all ran a bit Pete Tong. My Warlord failed to infect him, didn't hurt him at all. He then killed one, did me 1 wound even through the 2-up save and my 5-up rerollable Feel No Pain. I promptly then rolled a 10 for my leadership and ran off the board. So no good there. Also down here he got the 2 attacks, the 2 hits to take up my walker, so these guys are all free now. I had a full-on attempt at a 12-inch charge down here, which I failed. My Chimera just spun around, and then we did roll with combat bits, pretty much those guys dead. Unfortunately, my cars let me down. I did get behind enemy lines, which would give me 1 more point, but then I have to issue a challenge and then claim like 4 of the objectives. But we have, if you couldn't tell already, we decided to call it there just because he's got enough of points ahead of me, and we've looked at the next few cars. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to get to the game. I'm just a few too many points behind now.
Killing your Warlord, and I had Kingslayer in hand already, so that's a 2 to 4 point swing extra.
Yeah, so quite a lot. And it just means that it means you're mobile around here and stuff like that. Yeah. So if my Warlord's still alive, I'd probably commit a little bit more to try and kill him and stuff.
I'd have to send everything in because I'd need the points. I'd have to throw everything at him.
So yes, we called it a game there. Interesting.
That was an interesting game actually, because 2 armies, neither was particularly new hugely.
Yeah.
you're quite new to the AdMech, and I've never played that real style of Demons before.
Yes, very, very different. We were sort of my MVPs was kind of the infiltrators were brutal.
Yeah, I just couldn't deal with
Absolutely
the guys.
brutally.
Whatever I put towards them, they're just going, well, I'll kill that.
Yeah, in close combat, they do a lot of damage. They're really, really vulnerable if you've got the right stuff to deal with them. If you don't, they're incredibly
like,
powerful.
Scat bikes would wipe them off the table, but my entire army assaulting them probably wouldn't, because I think it was the combination of those with these, the -1 toughness, plus the 6 strength of those, so you're then instant deathing stuff with toughness 4.
Yeah.
And they've got so many attacks, and they're giving the negatives to weapon skill, initiative.
And you can buff their weapon skill and stuff like that. So
it's really just synergies together, and especially with the extra weapon skill you give them, you're hitting on 3s, killing on 2s.
Instant deathing and stuff like that. It does make a big difference. If you could get those kind of synergies going on, that's what kind of makes this army works. I think this army is very, very synergistic. I think they're probably fucking grumpy old bird.
Fate Weaver, he's been incredibly good for like 3 editions now, and he's still more or less an auto taker.
I think actually this is his most powerful incarnation.
Yeah, I think the changes to the Tzeentch psychic powers.
Yeah,
because previously, before they introduced the 6 powers, you'd maybe cast Flickering Fire, possibly the Beam power, but now you look at them, you've got the Nova power, you've got a Summoning power, you've got a D-Shot. There's just so much stuff there. I rarely put any Psychic Dice into anybody else, it's just, well, Fate Weaver's going to kill some stuff.
Fate Weaver knows everything you want to do. Good BS. His re-rolling on the Waltz-on table and you can +or -1 is really, really useful.
Yeah. Feeble was really good that game.
Yeah, so just so good. Probably did win you the game.
Oh,
he's a force multiplier, and that's what.
Yeah, none of my other units really pulled their weight. Regarding the new demonic incursion thing, I took the Nurgle one, and the problem with a lot of Nurgle units is they're slow and they're not very killy. So I had 500 points that didn't really get many places. And okay, the Nurgling's reasonable, but there was a lot of points spent on stuff that really couldn't hurt your army.
Yeah. Well, to be fair though, I had a lot of haywire grab and stuff like that, so I certainly wasn't tuning myself to play demons.
But with the bonuses that holding the objectives came into play a little bit down here, but other than that, didn't really. And the re-rolling instability, okay, the re-roll, the +1 and -1 on the Warpstorm table, when you got Fate Weaver, it's not necessary. I don't think I'd play it again, just because I want stuff that kills the enemy. I could have taken that out, stuck in a couple of much more powerful units.
Well, a lot of people think it's the Tzeentch one that's really powerful, isn't it? The one where you can just turbo boost with your screamers and stuff like that. But
to get that though, you need 9 units of screamers and 9 units of something else as well. It's a real high tax. Makes a good army, but really points and model intensive to get.
Indeed.
But it's another way to make demons, which is nice, because previously you wouldn't have spammed this many units in a demon army ever. So giving you more options, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Right. Overall, though, interesting game though. Fine, I always struggle against the AdMech because they've got so many rules. It's a bit of information overload.
Keeping up with it is incredibly difficult.
Yeah, you've printed out really handy sheets because all their weapons are bonkers as well.
Every single unit has a special rule. Every single weapon has a special rule.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous.
Not a starter army.
No. Ignore the looking to start AdMech codex. It's not a good idea.
Yeah.
Play Space Marines. People like Space Marines.
Yep.
Right. Cheers then, guys.